Donald Trump is signing an executive order to label Judaism a nationality. And we talked about this on yesterday's bonus show. I wasn't planning on talking about it on the broadcast show, but the amount of disinformation, misunderstanding, and just plain old idiocy around this makes me feel like it probably warrants a little bit more discussion today. So Trump's idea is that or at least what he's claiming is that it could be somebody else's idea. In order to fight anti-Semitism on college campuses, you label Judaism a nationality. That will trigger a clause in the 1964 Civil Rights Act, which blocks federal funding from any schools that allow discrimination on the basis of nationality. That's the idea, but there are many, many issues here to talk about. One issue, of course, and it's not even the subject for today, but I find that it's important to get on the record. Some of what's called anti-Semitism on college campuses is anti-Semitism. Some of it is anti-Israeli organizing by people who are against Israeli foreign policy. To be clear, there's both, and there is also stuff that's a combination of the two. That's not the real issue for me here. The real issue for me here is that Judaism simply is not a nationality. And when you label it as such, not only is it inaccurate, you're actually perpetuating some anti-Semitic tropes about dual loyalty that is already the source of so much discrimination and attacks on Jews in the United States. So let's go through this very carefully because it's really important that everybody understand the completely misguided nature of this. Judaism is three things. Judaism is a religion. It's an ethnicity to the extent that ethnicity exists, meaning I know if you go back far enough, we're all just Homo sapiens. But as ethnicity and race go, Judaism is an ethnicity. And Judaism is also a cultural group. In fact, it's more than one. You have Eastern European Jewry, which has sort of a different culture in many ways than Yemeni Jewry, just as one example. So I am Jewish ethnically. We actually did DNA tests on the show. We had a DNA expert come on and analyze them. My results came back. I am 100% Ashkenazi Jew. This is a sort of sub-ethnic group of Judaism more broadly. I can't convert into that. I can't convert out of that. That's an ethnicity. Culturally, I'm Jewish in that I was raised in a Jewish family, eating traditional Jewish foods, gathering with family around Jewish holidays. And I am not religious. One can choose to be religious or not. You can convert into the religion of Judaism. That won't make you ethnically Jewish, of course. Now, there's nothing in there about nationality. If someone discriminates against me for being Jewish, they are maybe discriminating against my ethnicity. They may be discriminating against my cultural group. They might be discriminating against my perceived religion, even though I'm not religious. But there's nothing in there about country of origin. In fact, I was born in Argentina. I'm now a citizen of the United States. So when you look at my US passport, it's an American passport. I'm an American citizen. And it says, I don't remember if it's called nationality or country of birth. It actually might be nationality on the US passport, Argentina. I went to Israel one time for 9 days. Okay, period. So at its core, nothing about this is about nationality. Now, there are people who are defending this decision by Donald Trump in a mildly anti-Semitic way, saying Judaism is inextricably tied into Israel because that's where the religion originates. That's where Christianity also originated. You don't see the same argument being made. And as nationality is defined in the United States, it does not fit. But it's more than just inaccurate. When you label Judaism a nationality, it perpetuates the anti-Semitic trope of dual loyalty. Jews around the world and in the United States have been dealing with this for a very long time. The idea is, you're American, but you're Jewish. So there's some hidden loyalty to Israel or to Jews over country or whatever, such that you're not really loyal to what's in the best interests of the United States in the way that an American Christian would be loyal to the United States. And this is the source of some really, really ugly stuff. So even if we take Trump at his word, he is doing this to fight anti-Semitism. This is still a terrible idea because aside from being factually inaccurate, it perpetuates this idea that an American-born Jew who's never been to Israel, is not even religious, if discriminated against, is being targeted for their nationality. Think about how boneheaded and simply incorrect that presumption would be. It's wrong, it's short-sighted, it's problematic, and hopefully Donald Trump is going to be talked out of this. Now, as with all of these executive order things that Donald Trump does, this was unlikely to really be Trump's idea. This is something that, in all likelihood, somebody came to him with and said, hey, how about this? What do you think about doing something like this? Here's a good idea. Here's why it would be good. This is the group that would be placated by it, or that group would be placated by it. Let's do it. I don't even imagine for a second that Donald Trump has any kind of deeper, serious understanding of what is implicit or explicit in doing something like this. But regardless, it's a bad idea. It shouldn't be done, and it doesn't make any sense. I do want to hear from you about this. If you disagree, if you think this is logical, let me know. And try to do it without perpetuating anti-Semitic tropes, if possible, right? I mean, just with peace and love, I'm suggesting that to you. Today's program is made possible in part by our sponsor, Identity Guard, giving my audience 33% off when you use the link underneath this video. We talk about data breaches on the show. We talk about them too often because they happen too often, and a lot of people underestimate how likely they are to become victims of identity theft as a result of these breaches that take place. And it's a nightmare. The average identity theft victim loses more than $1,300 and 6 months of their life trying to clean the mess up. It's no joke, but what Identity Guard does is monitor the dark web and alert you anytime your social security number, credit card numbers, account numbers, or other personal information are detected in places where criminals share this stuff with each other online. They also detect red flags like changes to your bank accounts or your credit scores, and you'll get an alert as quickly as in a few seconds. If you do become a victim of identity theft, Identity Guard sets you up with a dedicated support team who will take what would normally be a very stressful situation and turn it into something as easy as possible to resolve. And you'll be covered for up to $1 million of reimbursement for stolen funds. Identity Guard plans start at just $8.99 a month. But the David Pakman Show audience will instantly get 33% off by using the link underneath this video. You'll also get access to Identity Guard's browser extension, which protects you from phishing attempts, unsecured websites, other types of attacks just while you're browsing around online. It takes just a few minutes to set up an account. You give them a few pieces of info about yourself, and you're good to go. The identity theft headaches are often completely avoidable if you have a service that's protecting you from it and will help you to deal with it if something were to happen. And Identity Guard is the most trusted one out there. It's already affordable, but you'll save an extra 33% when you use my link, which I've put in the description right underneath this video.